Ladies and gentlemen, after way too long, we are back with yet another episode of The Watcher, WMMA. 2005 heavyweights. We started in 2005, we're now into 2008. It's 3 whole years of the save now, and our fighters are signing with UFC, getting massive opportunities, and generally making huge names of themselves, except for the ones in jail. As is tradition, we're going to simulate through the first week while we put the power rankings up on screen. These power rankings brought to you by Eric Fonga. And yeah, there they are. Feel the power. Alright, see you on Monday. And we are back in Pride. Eric Fonga facing off with Pavel Nastula, the main card of Pride, Chapter 48, headlined by Fabricio Verdum versus Sergey Karatonov. Not bad for a first guess, though. Big heavyweight fight on the main event. But in our minds, an even bigger heavyweight fight in the third to last fight of the night. 6-2, Eric Fonga. He is 1-1 in Pride with a loss to Tank Abbott and a win over Tim Sylvia. He's facing off with Pavel Nastula, a 1-2 professional record. He has a 1-2 record in Pride as well, having lost to Fabricio Verdum, no shame there, beating James Thompson and losing to Wagner Martins. All of his fights ended in somebody on the floor, unconscious. Eric Fonga, definitely a knockout guy. Only gotten a decision once in his career, and he has won the last 2 straight by knockout. Let's get straight into it. Yuji Shimada is the referee for the fight. Got Nastula versus Fonga. Nastula, a judo fighter. Fonga, a Muay Thai fighter. Nastula can't get the takedown there. Dirty boxing from Fonga. Nastula trying to smother him there. Fonga unable to break free so far. Restarted in the center, 2.5 minutes in, 10-minute first round, straight right from Fonga, lands hard. Fonga comes in closer, another straight right. Nastula backing off now. Fonga landing those big rights. We already know Nastula's got a weak chin. Beautiful right uppercut from Fonga. Nastula's knocked down. Fonga with the ground and pound. Nastula taking heavy shots. The referee has to step in, and Eric Fonga has won by TKO. 3 minutes and 46 seconds into the very first round, Eric Fonga victorious at Pride Chapter 48, bringing his overall record in the organization to 2-1 and his overall record to 7-2. Pavel Nastula has dropped to 1-3 overall. That's a rough go of it, but that's the fight biz, baby. Congratulations to Eric Fonga. Quick correction, that brings Eric Fonga to 3-1 in Pride. Victor Velimaki, he beat him at Pride Bushido 10, which was not capitalized, so I actually skimmed over it. But Eric Fonga is 3-1 in Pride. And we are back in California for another action-packed Elite XC card. We have 2 fights on tonight's card. The second card of episode, I think, 10 of The Watcher. I'm starting to lose track. Probably should have that written down somewhere. But we're going to start on the undercard with Ron Francis Jr., on the preliminary card, so to speak. Ron Francis Jr. coming off a knockout loss, TKO loss in just 47 seconds to Roy Nelson. Today he will be facing fellow 3-1er Chad Griggs. He looks like a real Chad over there. Look at those sideburns. Frankly, he should be taken out back and shot just for having those sideburns alone, but I guess that's not for us to decide exactly. Ron Francis Jr., a 3-1 overall. That's a 1-1 record in Elite XC. Chad Griggs will be holding a 3-1 record as well. He is 0-1 in Elite XC, losing to Travis Wiff in the previous undercard. So, Elite XC, Jensen versus Kohler. Don't know who those people are, but I'm sure they're great. And let's get into it. Ron Francis Jr., a colossal favorite for this fight, though that is far from a guarantee in anything. It's The Watcher after all, and you never know what's going to happen. Griggs lands a right hand. Ron Francis Jr., Jiu-Jitsu Sambo specialist. Chad Griggs, a brawler, landing some strikes from standing here. Ooh, Griggs lands a big right hand. Francis Jr. probably needs to use his grappling here if he wants to be super successful. He's pressuring him forward. Griggs hits 2 left hands on the counter. Ooh, this is a right head kick from Ron Francis Jr. You ever see a 265-pound man landing a head kick, then you've really seen it all. 2 guys dueling back and forth. Griggs breathing a little deeper now, trying to relax himself as they come forward. Griggs probably just edging the first round now. Francis Jr. coming in for a takedown that could change their whole complexion this round. Francis Jr. smashes him against the cage, then gets him down. Griggs in half guard now. Francis Jr. escapes to side control. landing some big punches, and round 1 expires. That probably wins the round for Ron Francis Jr. Let's move into round 2. Greg's trying some strikes here. Kick to the lead leg. Greg's already exhausted. Francis Jr. smashed him up against the cage. Hits a knee to the side of the thigh, and you got to assume he's going to look for the takedown here. He's landing foot stomps, though. Just wearing Greg's out. More than half the fight left. Francis Jr. pummeling his legs with knees. Legs with knees. Hitting him with some dirty boxing here. Ron Francis Jr. lands a jab. Greg's misses a punch. Again, Greg's very, very tired. Nice left hand from Francis Jr. Minute and a half left in the round number 2. Now a minute. Both fighters stepping into strike. Leg kick from Ron Francis Jr. Greg's lands left hand. Francis Jr. misses a big bomb of a right hand. Greg's very tired. Francis Jr. smashes him against the cage. Greg's fighting against exhaustion now. And that is the end of round 2. Another round 1 for Ron Francis Jr. Two fighters coming forward again. Round number 3, the final round. Ron Francis Jr. has a big reach advantage, and it's showing. They're in an ugly clinch now. Greg smashed his back up against the cage. Foot stomped on the foot. Left to the side of the stomach. Knee strike to the thigh. Ron Francis Jr. is looking really tired. Hard foot stomp here. Francis Jr. has won all 3 of his wins by rear naked choke. Headed for a decision win here, though. The referee is resetting them in the middle. Kick to the lead leg again. Greg's gas tank looks empty. Falling into a clinch now. Another cage wrestling moment. Dirty boxing. Francis Jr. maybe could go for a takedown here to really secure this. But with a minute left in the round, it might not happen. Foot stomp from Ron Francis Jr. Fighting against exhaustion now. Hard foot stomp again from Ron Francis Jr. And that is the end of the fight. Judges' scorecard now being announced. All 3 judges 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Ron Francis Jr. So 5 minutes into the 3rd round. Ron Francis Jr. has won his fight by unanimous decision. Congratulations to him, moving to 4-1 and a 3-1 record. Nope, 2-1 record in Elite XC. Don't go anywhere yet, folks, though. The legendary Daniel Puder is back. He's lost to Earl Moe already on this show, early on this, then lost to Shane Carwin, but he made a successful debut in Elite XC against Abe Wagner, and he will be facing off with Billy Willie here tonight. So Billy Willie and Ron Francis Jr. Billy Willie and Daniel Puder are going head-to-head the exact same night as our, of course, friend Ron. I'm just going to get the spreadsheet updated real quick, and then we will get straight into it. All right. Guess the spreadsheet doesn't want to update. Who cares? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's get started. Billy Willie, a minus 530 favorite, 6-0 undefeated against 5-2 Daniel Puder. Round 1. Here we go. Clashing at the head. Billy Willie, a thug jitsu specialist, sprawls to prevent a takedown from the wrestler Daniel Puder. Willie, 2 left hands on the counter. Willie attacking with strikes now. Remember, Billy Willie is the same man who beat Brock Lesnar by unanimous decision, so I don't know if Daniel Puder's wrestling really scares him. Willie looking to strike now. Puder lands a left hand. Willie tries a roundhouse body kick. That's cool. Coming together to strike now. Puder absorbs a right hand on the gloves. Puder cut now. Both men trading strikes with a minute and a half left in the first round. Not a ton of stuff landed here. Billy misses a 1-2. Puder shoots for the takedown. Willie sprawls. And that's the end of round number 1. Hard to say who won that one, and to be honest. Willie does hit a big body kick to start the second round, though. Puder hits a solid right hand. Willie forcing a strike exchange. Puder gets a jab off. Puder dodges a 1-2. And another. Puder shoots for a takedown now. Willie with another sprawl. Getting a little tired there, stopping all these takedowns, though. Oh, Willie misses the big right hand, but he does hit that left jab in advance. Again, Willie's just looking to strike here. Most of his wins come by knockout punch. He has a submission under his belt. He has a decision under his belt. Pewter shoots in, and another sprawl. Billy Willie's defensive wrestling must have been a huge focus coming into this. So we end round 2. Incredibly close, and it's really tough to say who's winning this one right now. I think both men would really want to win this round solidly, or even get a finish, of course. Ooh, Willie tries for a trip takedown, but Pewter blocks it. Pewter trying to pin Willie against the cage. Willie's now pinned up against the cage. Pewter tries for the takedown. Willie gets some separation. Pewter's corner urging him on. 2.5 minutes left in the fight. Two men clashing in the center now. Body kick parried. Both men clashing now. Pewter with the glancing high kick. Not exactly his style, but any port in a storm. Pewter with the big right cross. Willie maybe losing this round right now. Willie misses a big right hand. 1 minute left into the fight. Willie goes for a trip takedown. Pewter keeps a solid place under him. Pewter tries to hits the trip takedown the other direction, in guard, and lands some elbows. Maybe that one won the round for Billy, but it's hard to say. This one is going to go to the judges. Glenn Trowbridge spoils it. 30-27 Willie. Andy Roberts 29-28 Pewter. And Marcos Rosales 29-28 Pewter. Your winner by split decision. Split decision. Wow, that's crazy. Daniel Pewter has defeated the previously undefeated Billy Willie. I don't know if I buy it. I feel like Billy Willie won the... I'm not going to lie, I feel like Billy Willie won the first 2 rounds. That is very, very... I want to say interesting, but I think the proper term is suspicious. But regardless, it is what it is, and Billy Willie has lost this fight. He drops to 6-1, and Daniel Pewter improves to 6-2. But ladies and gentlemen, we can't dwell on that too long. It is time for the biggest fight in the Watcher series yet. I don't care. I mean, Alex O'Reilly versus George Joe was huge, but this might be bigger. Alex the Maverick O'Reilly is making his UFC debut at the age of just 21. The native Dubliner facing off with Mike Whitehead in his UFC debut. And, you know, sometimes it's just the biggest game in town is what's going to win out. UFC 74, Sanchez versus GSP. Big fight here, and I am so excited. Like, ridiculously excited, because it's really fun. You know, this is the biggest show in town, and it's the biggest show in the world. I know Pride is technically bigger due to the database, but, like, you know, if you guys are like me, you grew up on UFC, not Pride. So, Mike Whitehead, a 4-1 heavyweight in UFC. That's nuts. He beat Wes Combs, beat former champion Rico Rodriguez, beat Kazuyuki Fujita twice, and then lost to Andrei Arlovsky. So, he's also the ranked 23rd heavyweight in the world. Alex O'Reilly, unranked, 9-1. He's looking to beat down Mike Whitehead here and take that title from him. Let's get started. Alex O'Reilly, a -360 favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UFC. O'Reilly closing in, ready to unleash some strikes right away. Left jab, right hand, goes for a takedown. Whitehead manages to sprawl and tries for the Peruvian necktie immediately. Loses his grip. Now Alex O'Reilly pinning him against the cage. Dirty boxing for a minute or so. O'Reilly smothering him. Again, back and forth. O'Reilly just really weighing him down, trying to win the momentum battle here, the tiredness battle here in the first round. O'Reilly pins him up against the cage again after getting restarted, and that is the end of round 1. Definite win for O'Reilly. Round number 2. Whitehead comes in for the takedown. O'Reilly manages to partially defend it, hopping on one foot. Now pinned against the cage, Whitehead trying to finish that takedown. Now O'Reilly reverses it, pins Whitehead against the cage. O'Reilly hits the uppercut, knee to the thigh, elbow to the face. Alex O'Reilly using all 8 limbs to inflict some damage up into the cage there. Whitehead shooting for the takedown off the referee reset. Whitehead pins O'Reilly against the cage again. Whitehead dropping down, looking for that takedown. Whitehead lands right in side control, tries for the Darce choke. O'Reilly can't block it. Oh no. Man, you hate to see that. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes of round, after 3 minutes in, should say, round number 2, Alex O'Reilly has been defeated by a Darce choke by Mike Whitehead. Unfortunate, as he was definitely winning that fight up until that point, but it is what it is. You go to the biggest show in town, you got to be ready for anything. And a little bit of news, Bruno Guimas has himself a fight. He will be making his UFC debut against Andrei Arlovsky. Bruno is a 7-1 fighter overall. He is signed for the UFC, and he will be facing off against Andrei Arlovsky at UFC Fight Night 5, Liddell versus Jardine. Arlovsky is a former UFC champion, having beaten Tim Sylvia to win it, then losing to Paul Buentello. After 2 more wins, he got another shot at Frank Mir, then beat Mike Whitehead, then lost to Frank Mir again. So maybe a bit of a title fight rebound here against Bruno Guimas. That fight will be in September and will not be on this episode, but we will be looking forward to it for sure. Alright, as we head into the very first week of June, a little bit of news. Ron Francis and Billy Willie have each signed a contract extension with Elite XC that is a standard contract, not prohibiting them from fighting elsewhere. However, Billy Willie, coming off a loss, will need some medical leave, and Ron Francis Jr., come off his win, will need another 40 days before he's ready to be booked again. But they are both going to stay with Elite XC for the foreseeable future. Alright, Jack Duplessis is replacing the injured Ron Waterman against Sean O'Hare. That is on the K1 Heroes 19 card, and that'll actually be on this episode, so good for him. Jack Duplessis is a huge favorite against 3-2 Sean O'Hare. Good. That'll be a good fight for Jack to stay active and hopefully get his next thing on. Bobby Braxton also booked on that same card, so we will have a double serving of Watcher fights. So let's keep simming so we can get right to it. Alright, after only very briefly screwing up our recording, Alex O'Reilly has quit his team after losing to Mike Whitehead, looking for a new team to carry him forward in the UFC here. So he is ready to fight again, didn't take that much damage, so we'll have to see what he does from there. Alright, we are back in July. Alex O'Reilly has joined SBG Ireland, which is interesting because he actually was with SBG Ireland in 2006, had a fight or two with them, so very interesting. Went to SBG Ireland before going to Wolf's Lair, but he has returned to SBG Ireland, so it's noteworthy or not, depending on who you ask, I guess. And it's time for the much ballyhooed K1 Heroes 19. We got 2 fights on the main card here. Bobby Braxton facing off with Jason Farron, who is going to become the first 3-opponent man of the save. He has previously fought, let's get straight to the fight preview page, but Jason Farron, 9-7 fighter overall, who has beat Eric Fonga to bring him to 9-4, then lost 3 straight to drop him to 9-7. Starting with Jack Duplessis. So I guess if that's notable to you, there you go. Bobby the Bruiser Braxton versus Bonecracker Jason Farron. Let's get straight into it. K1 Heroes 19. Bobby Braxton making his K1 Heroes debut. Jason Farron, of course. Oh, wow, huge head kick. Bobby smashed him with the guard. Big right hand. Ari Yamasaki's got to stop the fight. Holy smokes, that wasn't even close to competitive. Bobby Braxton absolutely annihilates Jason Farron in just 42 seconds. The fastest win of Bobby's career. And what a way to welcome yourself to K1 Heroes. Huge. Wow. So at K1 Heroes 19, Bobby Braxton has made his debut with authority. Congratulations to him for picking up, this is going to be sad, but congratulations to him for picking up his first ever His first ever fight at a named promotion. His previous victories had all come on the local circuit. So Jason Farron drops to 9-8, but I don't think Bobby cares one bit. And just a couple fights later, we have not left the arena, folks. 3-2, Sean O'Hare is going to try to stop Jack Duplessis. We will see how that goes for him. My prediction is not great, but we will see if Jack can get it done quite as fast as Bobby did. Let's just get straight into it. Jack, a minus 1170 favorite, which is insane. O'Hare ignores the touch gloves offer. Both fighters move in. O'Hare hits a left cross. Jack with the right hook. Jack 2-1 in K1 so far. O'Hare lands hard with the big right kick. Oh, O'Hare's hurt. Oh, Jack tries big smash and nearly gets it, but can't quite finish him quite yet. Both guys fighting in the ring here. O'Hare a kickboxer, Jack a wrestler. Jack not tried for a takedown yet. Both guys land a big right hook, but O'Hare's hurt again and manages to dodge the killer blow. Bobby has cracked his chin though for sure. Right cross by Jack. Jack looks for the takedown now, changing tactics. In half guard. Tries to sweep. Jack pounding away, tries for an elbow strike, can't get it. O'Hare tries to sweep. Elbow strike to the head. O'Hare's cut now. Blood on the canvas. Jack into side control now. Jack trying for the armbar there and locks it in. Oh, Sean O'Hare has to tap. And your winner by submission. The second submission win of Jack's career. Your winner by submission and 5 minutes, 35 seconds of round number 1. Jack Duplessis. Jack Duplessis. Jack Duplessis. I googled how to pronounce this. I'm doing my best. Sean O'Hare falls victim to the submission skills of Jack here, and frankly, did not look like he belonged in there at all. Nearly was knocked out twice, and mostly just by luck managed to avoid that fate temporarily. But he was in fact choked out, or had his arm ripped off in the end. Much more pleasant fate than getting choked out, I'm sure, or something like that. Anyway, we leave the arena here with our fighters having compiled a 2-0 record tonight. Congratulations, boys. For reasons unknown, Jack Duplessis has left Yoshida Dojo. He is now teamless, but riding a 3-fight win streak in K1 Heroes, and has only lost to who I believe is still current champion. Yep, Alexei Olenek. And we'll have to see. Maybe he could earn himself a rematch. I'm not sure. All right, as we are flying through July, Eric Faga has been booked to face Sergey Karatonov at Pride 50. The landmark event will feature him facing off with the one-time Pride Heavyweight Championship challenger, who is kind of on a win-loss streak. Lost to Fabricio Verdum in May, but he is 15-5 overall, which is a pretty darn good record. I wonder what his record is with Pride, if it will tell me. There's somewhere you can go to, like, look at their record by company, but formerly the number 8 heavyweight fighter in the world. That's a very high ranking. He's currently 14th ranked. Fanga not ranked at all, so this will be his chance to leap up the rankings. That fight will be in fight 50 October. That'll be in the next episode 11, as we keep rocketing through this month. All right, Robbie Braxton has got himself a time with Yoshida Dojo, which is his first team, I guess. Interesting. He is currently signed to Yoshida Dojo, and more importantly, Earl Mo is facing Ben Rothwell at Strikeforce. Mo versus Rothwell in a title fight for the ages. Mo, of course, the reigning defending Strikeforce heavyweight champion of the world. and he will be facing off against Ben Rothwell, the current King of the Cage champion, so champion versus champion fight. Rothwell did lose to Bruno Guimas in King of the Cage before winning that heavyweight title. And he also holds a loss against Mike Whitehead, another name we know well in this save, especially from this episode. So in September, Earl Mo, Ben Rothwell facing off in what will be a fantastic fight, I'm sure. Earl Mo a slight favorite. We are looking forward to that one. Alright, it took us to the last week of August to get some news, and considering we only have local shows and some Japanese shows, looks like we won't be hitting anything here either, but George Joe has been booked to face Elvis Sinosic. George will be defending his title again. Sinosic has history with us as he lost to Jack Duplessis in Pancrase, then beat Bobby Braxton, lost 2 attempts at the Pancrase heavyweight title, but has been dotting some wins in Cage Rage here. I believe he's 3-0 in Cage Rage, so not too bad. Cage Rage 28, there we go. Yeah, so Sinosic is 3-0 in Cage Rage just by his overall record. George, of course, 6-0 and the champion. Will be his 3rd successful defense of the Cage Rage title. If he gets it, it's done. And frankly, I truly believe that he will. George is a massive favorite, as he should be. That will be in October, so yet another fight on what is looking like an absolutely stacked episode next time. Alright, and that brings us to the end of... Oh, the stock market just crashed, so that's a real bummer. Sorry to anyone who had, stocks or a house or anything of value, because it's worthless now. Happy 2008, everybody. Anyway, that brings us to the end of episode 10 of The Watcher. Thank you, as always, for watching. Episode 11 is going to be a crazy one, but first we had to get there. See you next time. And because I promised Slicky that the first person to respond could pick my outro, and he picked a random Dricus Duplessis promo, here it is. When the referee says fight, I fight. I'm not in there to save energy. I'm not in there to look for a gap. I'm there to make a gap. I'm there to create an opportunity to finish. I'm not there to wait for an opportunity to finish. So, there you have it. Another day, another fighter goes down. Elmo is hot.